Why would electric vehicle owners buy them again? We want to share that, so let's get into it now. The first reason why EV buyers would buy them again are they're impressed with the performance. Most electric vehicles these days, when you put your foot down, it goes, and it goes now. A lot of these vehicles, of course, the batteries are mounted low in the platform, of course, so you get actually better handling, better acceleration with that instant torque, and virtually every vehicle that's built to electric vehicle standards will outperform its equivalent internal combustion vehicle platform. That's why many of these ultra high-end hypercars now are pure electric or hybrid or some variation of that, because electric power creates all this additional torque, and again, the lower center of gravity means it's going to handle like it's on rails. Another reason why they say they would buy an electric vehicle again is maintenance costs. Well, this may not be entirely true, because Lexus vehicles are very low in terms of maintenance costs over a long period of time. You can't deny even driving this or even this are going to likely all cost more to varying degrees. Tesla's electric vehicles are largely going to be a lower cost. Now, that being said, tires are something that get eaten very, very quickly with electric vehicles. And unfortunately, those tires are very heavy duty, so they're likely also going to cost more. So it's almost like the run flats by BMWs. They're heavier, sturdier tires with extra reinforcement. Therefore, it's going to cost extra dollars out of your pocket. And because of that, when you do a tire change, which is more frequently, it's going to cost you a lot of money. The question is, does it offset the cost of additional maintenance? Well, with certain vehicles, it might. There's no doubt with vehicles like this, the maintenance cost could be through the roof. You might pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 per year, or as well, something like this Land Rover. But when you get into something like this, that space between the cost between ICE as well as electric vehicles is much, much tighter. And now this is a better conversation about which one's actually cheaper to run, the Toyota or maybe even an electric vehicle counterpart. Why do you think Toyota hasn't gone full electric? They do lots of hybrid, but they haven't gone full EV because they have the reliability packaged in that car. Most electric vehicle owners are going to brag and say that the environmental impacts are much lower with driving an electric vehicle, when in fact that's not entirely true. When you grab the keys to your new vehicle, absolutely, from that point on, zero emissions or very close to it are an absolute benefit. But consuming tires and brakes, you're emitting carbon through the atmosphere all day long. But the bigger thing is to get that vehicle to the road. You think about the mining and the ores and all the metals and the diesel equipment to get that metal out of the ground and manufacture this vehicle. It's not zero emission, but they'd like to believe that. So regardless, is it a wash or not? The bottom line is, over the course of a lifetime, there have been some research to suggest that EVs might be slightly better overall in terms of overall carbon consumption or carbon emissions, but it's not nearly the environmental benefits that a lot of people believe. There is often incentives to install a home charger. A lot of times there's incentives as well to buy these vehicles, because the governments would often offer up, say, a $7,500 tax credit, and for a lot of people, they found that was enough incentive to get in the door. Get that vehicle that's going to be low cost of maintenance, zero fuel consumption, and if you could get the motivation to buy it by the government because of said incentive, a lot of people were buying them, and they love those incentives. But there's a harsh reality now. A lot of those incentives now are going away. Trying to get your new electric vehicle is no longer supported by the government. It's now more of a matter of choice for its own merits, whether you want to install your own charger, whether you want to buy an EV, or whether you just want that choice and buy internal combustion engine. Whatever the choice is, that's the issue. If you're liking the video so far, you're going to love the rest of the channel. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and don't forget the notifications bell so you know when the next amazing videos come. Now, another reason EV buyers would buy another one is because they believed the road tax, they could avoid it entirely. Because when you buy an internal combustion engine vehicle like this, every time you fuel up and you pull up to the gas pump, you have a big part of that fuel that cost that goes into that, whether you're paying $1.50 a liter or $4 or $5 a gallon, a big part of that is going into taxation to fix those roads when there's cracks and splits, and to keep the roads going. A lot of that taxation is going to fix the roads that all these vehicles drive on. But a lot of electric vehicle owners believe that they're dodging the road tax. But what they don't know realistically is that incentive is going away, because unfortunately the road tax now is being tracked down. And of course, with most electric vehicles these days, people can recognize GPS navigation. You know exactly where you are at any given time. People now in certain states and certain parts of the globe are now being recognized driving electric vehicles as, hey, you're contributing to the wear and tear on these roads. Why don't you be part of the solution and not part of the problem. So some people have been getting bills in the mail in some jurisdictions just to cover the cost to fix the roads, where up to this point it was primarily just internal combustion vehicles, and they got you at the fuel pump when it was time to gas up. And right here we have a big power box. Well, what is that? Well, it's equipment that's required to allow a lot of these charging stations to be installed. And what a lot of EV owners fail to realize is that a lot of these charging stations are few and far between, but they actually say that there's an ever expanding infrastructure being put in. That's right, more transformers, more charge stations, and that's expanding on the availability to be able to charge your electric vehicle, which was one of the major issues in potentially driving an EV, that you couldn't find a place to charge your vehicle. But what's not mentioned is the vast majority of these charge stations are just being converted. So Tesla is giving the rights to a lot of these non-Tesla brands for access to their charge stations. While it may seem like there's more infrastructure, the reality is there's very little new infrastructure going in. And while it is expanding, it's not going in at the rate required to support a lot of these EVs. So unfortunately, in fact, charging stations like this are not nearly in the abundance required to sustain the ever increasing number of EVs hitting the market. Can you imagine by 2030, 35, there will be a real distinct shortage. And you're probably gonna wanna understand the 10 reasons why you should not buy an electric vehicle. Hope to see each and every one of you real soon. Catch you then, bye-bye.